is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm gonna show you how I made these. Beautiful, delicious, beefy, buttery. I'm gonna say buttery again. Scratch made, amazing butter burgers with some scratch made buns made with our own homemade butter. Coming up. This is some meat. Patted dry. And what I got here is a chuck roast, some brisket meat, and some short rib. And that's because today we're taking a look at the Wisconsin butter burger, which is a burger I've always wanted to make, but I'm a little scared because it sounds a little intense, but I mean, what doesn't sound good about a cheeseburger smothered with butter? And of course, you could use whatever cuts you like. Typically, I usually use just chuck or just brisket, but today I was feeling a little frisky, so we're gonna do a combination of chuck, brisket, and short rib to make the ultimate burger patty. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff cubed up a little bit. That way it freezes really quickly in the freezer and also fits into our meat grinder a little bit easier. And per usual, I'm kind of eyeballing the fat ratio here, but I think between these three cuts, we should have a really nice 80-20, 70-30, somewhere in that range. But if you got a bunch of brisket trim and fat on hand, you can really dial in that ratio. But as long as you're in the ballpark, we should get some nice, tasty, juicy burgers. And the beauty of using three different cuts is each of these cuts has a little bit different type of a beefy flavor, you know? Some's got a little more minerality to it, some's got a little more beefiness to it. We got some different textures, and these three cuts are pretty classic for a burger blend. And just like that, all cubed up. So now I'm gonna park this in the freezer for the next 30 minutes to get nice and cold. Dang train always ruining my takes. And now that the meat is nice and cold, through the meat grinder we go. Got the fine die on there, and we're just gonna go through one time. Beautiful grind on that. Perfect looking fat cap on there, no fat smeared. Pretty happy about that. I'm gonna go through and give this a quick little mix just to make it a little bit tackier, but nothing too aggressive. That way our burgers don't fall apart on the grill. And now we're gonna weigh out some meatballs. I'm thinking about 6-ounce patties today. Ooh, 5. Beautiful. Pack that together a little bit so there's no air pockets in the middle. And then we repeat until we've got Meatball Mountain. Beautiful. And now we're gonna go ahead and press these out. Patty wax, meatball, patty wax, press. And just like that, the perfect burger patty. And just like that, all formed up. So I'm gonna set these aside until we need them. Now we can't talk about the butter burger without talking about the butter. And you could go out and get some freshly made Wisconsin butter if you want it to be super traditional. But today we're gonna make our own butter because it's super tasty and pretty easy. And luckily I got started a few days ago. Ingredients for our cultured butter include 2 quarts of heavy cream. Try and find the highest quality, ideally low temp pasteurized cream that you can get your hands on. As well as 2/3 of a cup of some cultured buttermilk. And give that a nice little whisk. And now we're gonna set this aside at room temp for the next 1 to 3 days. And what's gonna happen is the live cultures in that buttermilk are gonna ferment the cream, thickening it up, giving it a lot better flavor, and essentially turning this into creme fraiche. So I'll check back in on this in a couple of days. 2 days later. This stuff is looking and smelling so good, definitely a lot thicker, and has successfully turned into creme fraiche, which is essentially sour cream. And I should mention, you don't need to culture your cream for making butter. You could just start with regular cream at this stage and it would work out just fine. But again, these cultures are just gonna add a lot more flavor, a better mouthfeel, and a little bit more tang. But oh my goodness, this stuff is so good. I kinda wanna save some of this just for putting on a baked potato or something. Beautiful. Oh yeah, just like sour cream. And the process of turning cream into butter is quite simple, because basically what cream is an emulsification of milk and fat. So if we separate the two, the fat becomes butter, and the milk that's left over becomes buttermilk. So all we need to do is break that emulsion. So out comes the old stand mixer. Bust out the whisk, and in we go. Smells very good. And now, just get it whipping up. Also, highly recommend busting out the little guard thing if you got one, the old splatter guard here, because it might get messy. And essentially what's happening here is as it whips, after about 5-10 minutes, it'll turn into whipped cream. And then if you keep mixing it, that whipped cream will break, which is basically what's happening right now. You can see it starting to clump up and curd into fat and milk. So we're gonna keep mixing this until all the fat has separated, and we'll be left with butterfat and buttermilk. And I don't know about you, but there's been plenty of times where I'm trying to make some whipped cream for a dessert or something like that, and I'll overmix it and it'll break like this, and you think you ruined it, but really, you just made yourself some butter. And after mixing for just another couple of minutes, it is fully separated. So now we're gonna strain it out. Look at all that butter in there. So I'm gonna send this through a sieve here, letting all the buttermilk through while all the butter stays behind, and just start trying to press out all that buttermilk. And just like that, we are left with some beautiful freshly made buttermilk and our butter. So at this point, our butter is pretty much done, except if you look closely, it's still pretty wet looking because there's a lot of buttermilk trapped in there still that we need to get out of there. So this is pure butter. And to do that, we're gonna start washing this butter with some really cold water. And we wanna make sure this water is cold, otherwise this butter will melt and get all greasy and just hard to work with. But as you can see, that water is already looking pretty cloudy. And I'll throw a little bit of ice in here just to make sure everything stays cold. And then we're just gonna kind of start working this butter, kind of massaging it until all the buttermilk is released. And once all that water was looking super cloudy, I dumped it out, and now we're gonna repeat this process one more time, or as many times as we need to, until the water is running clean. And now that the water is looking clear, I'm gonna send it through a sieve one more time, just to get out all the water. And then we'll just do our best to squeeze out any more water. Could wrap this in cheesecloth at this point if you felt like it. I'm just gonna squeeze it with my little gloved hands here. And just like that, with all the water wrung out, we've now made ourselves some cultured butter. Looks pretty good. And one final step, if you like salted butter, would be to salt this. And I do want some salted butter. So I'm gonna go down with about 2% salt. Nice even spread. And now we'll just get this all worked in. And there we have it, some homemade salted cultured butter. Also, I didn't add all the salt because it looked like a lot, so let's call that 1.5%. And at this stage, you could wrap it in cling wrap. You could put it in a butter mold, which I actually have, essentially a silicone ice cube thing. But for today, I want to keep this softened because that's how we need it for most of the recipes. So I'm gonna set this aside. Next step, let's go ahead and bust out some buns for these burgers. Start by going into the mixer with our milk and our eggs, followed by our yeast and our sugar. Give that a quick little mix, followed by our bread flour, our dough conditioner, and our salt. And let that all come together. And once the shaggy dough ball has come together, in we go with some of our freshly made cultured butter. And now we're gonna let this mix for probably about 6 to 10 minutes. And once a nice, smooth, supple dough ball has been formed, into a grease bowl we go. Now I'm gonna cover this in plastic and let this rise for the next hour to hour and 1/2. And now that our dough has doubled in size, out it comes, punch all the air out, boop. And now we're gonna portion out some 90-gram dough balls. Like that. Then grab yourself a dough ball, tuck all the seams to the underside, pinching it closed, give it a nice little roll, and pop it on a Silpat-lined baking sheet. And now we're gonna cover these up and let them rise for another 30 to 45 minutes. And after our second proof, these are looking nice and poofy and nice and bun-like. So we're gonna go ahead and brush on an egg wash, just to beat an egg with some water. And you could top these with sesame seeds at this point if you wanted to, but I think we're gonna go raw dog bun today. So into a 350-degree oven these go until they are looking absolutely beautiful. These were in the oven for about 20 minutes, rotating constantly to get even browning. But now I'm gonna pop these on a wire rack to cool down. Apparently Nick just says I said constantly. I rotated these once halfway through. Better, Nick?
That's better.
One last thing we gotta make is some butter sauteed onions. And this is something I see them doing over at Solly's Grill over near Milwaukee, which is not quite caramelized onions, but just kind of butter poached onions, just to make them nice and soft and tasty. And seems like a great way to add more butter to this burger. So into this pot, I'm gonna go in with a healthy amount of our homemade butter and get that melting down. And once our aggressive amount of butter is melted down, in we go with our onion. These are just rough chopped. And I was gonna do more, but the second onion I bought was rotten. And just get these cooking down. Again, we're not trying to caramelize these or anything like that. We're just trying to make them nice and soft, a little more translucent, and nice and buttery. And while these cook down, I'll go in with a pinch of salt. And then I'll bust out my brand new Pepper Cannon XL. This thing is sweet. And give it a few cranks of black pep. And I've seen a few other recipes for these onions where people will throw some water in there at this point as well to kind of help steam these and cook them down and make sure the butter doesn't burn. But I think it'd be a lot more flavorful to add some homemade smoky beef stock, so a little bit of that going in as well. And now I'm gonna pop a lid on these and let them simmer away for the next probably 15 minutes or so. So at this point, we've got our burger patties, we've got our buns, our onions are cooking away, we've got our butter. So what we're gonna do now is fire up the pit. Got the old Chud grill fired up, ripping hot on the griddle side over here, right around 600 degrees, so that's pretty toasty. So first things first, Down we go with a little bit of butter, just to make sure everything is lubricated. And, you know, obviously we got to go down with some butter. And then down with our fresh patty. And we'll go ahead and give these a little bit of a smash too while we're here. Found my burger press. That'll make life a little bit easier. Go ahead and take this patty wax off. That just makes sure it doesn't stick to the press. And for seasoning, we're gonna go down with a little Chuds BBQ steak rub. Great on burgers. And give them a flip. Oh yeah, beautiful crust on there. Get back in there. Looking good to me, folks. Although I might have got this griddle a little too hot. I guess we'll find out. And after just a few minutes, these bad boys are definitely done. Underside looking good. I'm gonna pull these off to the side over here to kind of carry over a little bit. Get back in there. We'll hide that guy on top. And then we'll go down with some cheese to get nice and melty. And I just asked Nick if we should do double cheese or single cheese, and he pointed out that we are covering these burgers with butter, so maybe single cheese is fine, but let me know in the comments below if you double or single cheese these 6-ounce patties. Burgers are off the grill, resting down. That cheese is looking nice and melty, so now it's time to assemble. Starting with one of our beautiful buns. Look at these things. Nice and perky. Just get these cut in half. Beautiful, as always. And yeah, I'm gonna toast these in butter real quick. Beautiful toast on that. So first thing going down is our burger, perfect size, gotta love that. Followed by some of our stewed buttery onions, which smell absolutely incredible. Kind of got a French onion soup vibe going with that beef stock in there. And nice and buttery. And now the part that'll clog Bones' cholesterol for the next 6 weeks. We gotta butter our top bun. So, butter, looking good. Room temp, looks whipped almost, very nice. And we gotta take an aggressive amount, otherwise Wisconsin will yell at me. And just put a couple of nice healthy tablespoons right on this top bun. Oh my God, it's like frosting a cake. And then we top it all off and watch it start to melt down. And that is my version of the butter burger. Very simple, but very rich. Dude, look at this. The bun is already sliding off. I'm gonna pop these on some trays just to collect any extra butter. Also, Bones just told me I said I'm gonna clog his cholesterol. What did I mean to say?
Clog my arteries?
You're getting something clogged. Sorry, something will become clogged. Build a couple more of these. Woo! Now that I'm seeing it, kind of glad we didn't do double cheese. Love the consistency of this butter though, very spreadable. And there it is, folks, in all its glory, the butter burger. I've been wanting to make this one for a long time, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm a little concerned, but you know, fresh buttery bun, butter dripping down the side, beef, cheese, and onions. I think it's time to see how this thing came out. It is a pretty magnificent looking burger though, nice and shiny. Let's go for it. Oh my God. Nick.
Yeah.
It's really good. Spoiler alert. Wow. So juicy. So meaty still though. Really simple burger, but it's just packed with flavor. Believe it or not, a little bit greasy. That is indulgent, to say the least. But that butter is fantastic. Boys, would you like some butter burgers?
Hell yeah, I want a butter burger.
Adam's been asking me to make burgers for like weeks at this point.
It's true.
And this is a doozy.
I thought I might need gloves.
Yeah, you know, it's not too soggy.
I watched the application of the butter and it scared me. But now I'm in here, all you three of these.
I don't think you put enough butter.
There's plenty more,
It's not
buddy.
dripping.
It's so good. Mine's full of
Some
drip.
drippage. It is really interesting how butter is the condiment. You know, there's no mayonnaise, no mustard, ketchup, any of that. It's just straight butter, and I'm kind of here for it.
Honestly, I was kind of afraid with having, not because of the butter, but there's no like acidic element. It's perfect. It's so good.
Wisconsin's doing it right.
I will be doing this again.
The onions are going hard.
I do like the onions. I've never seen onions made like that either, where they're just translucent, you know? Usually they're caramelized or, you know, grilled or something, but they just kind of meld in because they're so soft.
This is really good.
It's very good.
I was talking big game about clogging you up and all that, but now that I'm eating it,
It really
it's
doesn't
not that
feel heavy.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, I think that might be because I'd cultured the butter, so that adds an acidic kind of note to it
yeah.
because of
That makes
the
sense.
buttermilk in there.
Yep.
Because if we did this with like Kerrygold or something, it might be a little more intense, but
Yeah, I love Kerrygold, but
oh, me too.
that could be intense.
Because that was a lot of butter. It's kind of like the Oklahoma onion burger, where I never would have really thought a burger that simple would stand up to, you know, pickles and onions and all the fancy accoutrement. But I'm digging it. It's just a classic burger, but
I 100% was like, no pickles or ketchup or anything. But now that I'm in here, it's perfect.
It feels very old school. Like this seems like a classic burger. No frills, just really tasty.
But it's like extra juicy because of all
Yeah.
the butter. That was so good. I was thinking about freezing some butter cubes and mixing it into the ground beef, but
That would be
you
too
know,
much.
we
I feel like
already,
it would just fall apart.
I think we got plenty of butter on here.
I like it because it enriched the beef a little bit more actually. Instead of getting covered by like pickles and mustard, like I had the beef flavor was super good with the butter and the onions.
I like it. I'm gonna make 3 more. And with this very last onion-free bite of butter burger, I think it's time for the official taste test. Ooh. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic scratch-made butter burgers. I highly recommend giving this one a try, and obviously you don't have to make your own butter, but if you've never done it before, I think it's worth giving a try at least once. You know, it's really easy, and it's kind of a fun project, and you get to tell people you made your own butter. Not to mention cultured butter is a lot different than the stuff you get at the grocery store. And as for the butter burger, I'm really glad I made it, because I always thought it was kind of one of those over-the-top, super greasy kind of burgers, but now that I've made one, it was a lot less heavy and less gimmicky than I thought, and definitely something I'll do again. Probably not for every burger, but I'm definitely going to be a little less shy when buttering my buns moving forward. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all of these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!